Let me assure you once again that no pets were harmed in the creation of this video. A bunch of new post-debate election polls have come in. Very exciting news for the Democratic Party and Kamala Harris. The debate polls now come between 60 and 70%, I've been quoting, in favor of her, and they're actually 63 to 30 with 9 undecided. So the debate from reputable pollers, the pollers that are outside Donald Trump's head, show that the debate was won 9 days ago, by a margin of 2-1. So it was statistically significant win for debate in the post-debate polls on who won the debate. But it gets better. Pennsylvania shows a 3% advantage for Harris at 51% for Harris. Trump gets 48%. This is her best numbers in Pennsylvania ever. That makes Pennsylvania, 19 electoral votes, lean Harris, light blue. This is significant growth since the debate. She was in dead heat in Pennsylvania. Both sides are each raising their spending between now and either the end of the election to $100 million each in Pennsylvania, so they will fight it out. In other battleground states, such as Michigan, +5 Harris, outside the margin of error. The margin in Pennsylvania is right on the margin of error, with 2% going to Jill Stein. Those are not Trump-likely voters, let's put it that way. But 5% lead in Michigan for Kamala Harris. The margin of errors on these polls is just under 3%. Wisconsin is a plus for Harris. I just listened to Let's Talk Elections. I did not get the number off that one. So let me tell you what it means. What it means is the debate mattered, and Kamala Harris won it, and it's shifting support. And what we can take from that is that support in Nevada, where she was already ahead, is going to continue going her way. Arizona, which is a dead heat, may continue going her way. And the only trick in Trump's book that can get him back into front of an audience of 70 million people is to go debate Harris again, which she was happy to do. But the feedback from focus groups is he was embarrassed, even Republican focus groups. He was embarrassed, he was soundly beaten, and he would humiliate himself to go back to the debate. He would also humiliate himself to change his mind after saying he doesn't need to debate. I'd like to know what this poll is. It had him up 96 to 3 or 96 to 2. Wow, I'd like the space in his ears. I don't take drugs, but I'd like to know what drugs he's taken. Probably dementia drugs. I think the problem that Donald Trump has right now is he's forgetting what he said 2 weeks ago, 2 days ago, 2 hours ago. Again, I want to stress quite clearly, no pets were harmed in the creation of this video. Donald, go to Ohio and to defend those pets. You'll waste some more time in a state you should be far ahead in. And Trump is also weakening in Ohio. The polls in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin are Class A polls. One firm did a poll of all 3 states, so that's the first time a firm did all 3 battleground states. I will also note that Kamala Harris has a special campaign in Michigan. She's reaching out to Palestinian Arab voters and saying she will not ignore the cries of Palestinians who are harmed by the war in Israel. I think that's actually a good thing, because the Palestinians that are harmed by the war in Israel were harmed by Hamas, the only perpetrator of genocide in this situation. So she's not pushing her pro-Israel stance. She was instrumental in a $20 billion weapons package that was agreed to for weapons to be delivered between now and 2029 to Israel. Israel will get everything it needs to defend itself. I don't think they have enough supplies to take on Hezbollah in Lebanon, but I'm not the generals there. I think Israel's long-term problem is bad PR and not stocking enough ammunition for a war to be conducted without having to rely on the U.S. airlift. Now, maybe the United States likes Israel that short supplied I think was a major mistake last August, 2023, when Israel shipped 150,000 badly needed artillery shells to the Ukraine from Israel. I mean, they belong to the United States, but they were by treaty or agreement in Israel. But back to the battle for the hearts and minds of Americans. Great news for Kamala Harris. And Trump, his only means of getting an audience big enough to turn this around is to debate again, and he proved himself unable to do that. So I would expect the trend is going to continue. I have not seen a politician that connects so well on a one-on-one basis as Kamala Harris in my life. And I've not seen someone who is so stuck on her message and so disciplined like Donald Trump's handlers wants him to be. So if you like this content, please like it, share it with your friends. My mother is still 9% of my subscriber base. We need to drop that to a much lower percentage, like 1%. I need 10 times the subscribers. I'm going to keep this content up. It's very easy to create. I point the phone at an election map. I adjusted the election map this time before. I believe these states are accurate, and that shows 319 likely Democrat electoral votes and 219 for the Republicans and Donald Trump. The Republicans get thrashed hard enough, the Republican Party will realize that having Trump as your head for a fourth election in a row is a recipe for failure and electoral oblivion. So hopefully the Republicans, a party that I voted for in 2004 and 1984, will get their act together and create the post-Trump party that puts country over party, as many Republicans are, up to highest ranking defector so far, Dick Cheney. And we already know W is not voting for Trump. He just hasn't said he's going to vote for Harris yet. If he does, that will cause a bump, possibly in Texas. But 3 battleground state polls taken since the election. Very excellent methodology, according to Let's Talk Elections. And I think Harris is slipping from the status of underdog to overdog, or winning, or probable winner. That means try harder. Taylor Swift, I stayed off this topic, but she did an endorsement, and I think 300,000 people the first few hours registered to vote after she announced her endorsement of Harris, and several million people registered to vote possibly as a result of the Taylor Swift action. And I would guess unscientifically that would be Taylor Swift's candidate, Kamala Harris, that they would go for. And the Trump response, I hate Taylor Swift. I mean, really, I don't even hate Donald Trump. I think he's unqualified to be president of the United States. I don't want him to get the job. I want the Republicans to go past him. But I don't hate any candidate in any election ever, except for Adolf Hitler. Thank you very much.